Hi, my name is Anna, and in this episode we look at Andrew Lipper's musical The Wild Party and explore some of the drinks from the Prohibition era. Before it was a musical, The Wild Party was a 1928 narrative poem by Joseph Moncure March. The story is about a party that ends all parties, prohibition, bathtub gin and much more. And if you want to find out more about it, then you better keep watching. Queenie was a blonde and her age stood still, and she danced twice a day in vaudeville. Grey eyes, lips like coals aglow. Her face was a tinted mask of snow. What hips, what shoulders, what a back she had. Her legs were built to drive men mad, and she would skid. But sooner or later they bored her. 16 a year was her order. As I mentioned before, this story is based on a long poem that embodies the frenzy and the darkness that you'd expect from the Jazz Age. To set the scene, the 1920s saw American women get the right to vote, talking pictures, prohibition, the dawn of organised crime, great wealth and Great Depression. This is the backdrop for The Wild Party.
This record is unique in that it features a distinctly new syncopated rhythm called the charleston.
Despite alcohol being prohibited in the 1920s, it was very much available if you knew where to look. Now, gin was the easiest to produce illegally and quickly, but speakeasy customers needed to drink their gin fast so they could be on their way and avoid the police. That's where the cocktail comes in. Historically, the cocktail was invented before Prohibition, but the idea of mixing strong spirits really came into its own in the 20s, as the rough distilleries of the period produced harsh-tasting alcohol. Other flavours were needed to mask this and make the cocktail easy to drink. Famous classic cocktail recipes like the Gin Ricky, the Bee's Knees and the Mint Julep all come from this era.
So yeah, the Gin Ricky.
Yeah.
Really flavourful, really good summer drink. Big whack of lime, a little bit of sweetness from the sugar, and then topped off with a bit of soda water. Things in there like lemon, orange, lime, there's clementine, tangerine, orange blossom. So gin like that is perfect for a drink like this.
That gin sounds a lot more progressive than what might have been
in the
1920s.
It's not a 1920s gin, no, it's a much more contemporary gin.
Yeah.
So back then you had your London dry style of gin, London old style, bathtub gins particularly at that time. I wouldn't be comparing those to this at all.
No.
It's a bit of a sin to put them in the same boat.
Would you say that people are more likely to drink a sugary drink faster rather than something like a Scotch on the rocks? Or...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The sugar just masks that alcohol.
I don't condone drinking alcohol, and as with most things, some knowledge and context can help people make more responsible decisions. The good intentions of the Prohibition movement drove alcohol production underground and taught Americans to disrespect the law. Today's party drinks were once an illegal substance, the party drug of their time. So drink responsibly. This Gin Ricky was fresh and delicious, and just one of these cocktails is still a quiet night compared to the frenzied swill of the flappers from last century. It's really nice. Lipper's musical was an award-winning off-Broadway gem with a steamy prohibition tale roaring its way across the stage. After years of workshops, it opened at the Manhattan Theatre Club in February 2000 and has had somewhat of a cult following ever since. The plot, like the 1920s, is a downward spiral. The central characters are vaudeville performers, reckless people throwing an all-night party with excessive drugs and alcohol and excessive promiscuity, which leads to jealousy, revenge and murder. This may seem like a dark story for a musical, and it is. I know it's wrong. I know it's rough. I don't know what to do, but we've been through enough. I know it's time, and yet I play. Maybe I like it this way. The poem was published just before the Wall Street crash and became a prologue for the hard times ahead. And like all art and literature in the Jazz Age, the light is very bright and the shade is very dark. That's the wild party.
Maybe tomorrow it comes crashing down. Maybe next week I'll find another clown. Maybe I'll try to go a different way. But look who's sitting here today. If I could
This is just a snapshot of the story and the musical. For more information, check out the description below. My name is Anna. Thank you for watching. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, please check them out and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
maybe I like it this way.